What's up, y'all? It's been so long since I produced a video for you. Happy to do so today. It is Friday, and it is July 2023. Anyways, guys, here's the content. So I'm reflecting, doing some self-reflecting here, and I've noticed that when I am stoned, then I am more loving towards neutral beings and towards condemned beings or evil beings. And then when I'm sober, I'm very self-defensive. I banish a lot of souls and subtle energies and subtle bodies from my space all day, every day. I really do. So, sorry, I wasn't looking at the camera. I thought my eyes looked a little weird. I was like, what's going on with my eyes? I was thinking I was looking at the recording button. Anyways. So, more confrontational, more banishing when sober. And I attribute that to having lots of self-love. That's what I attribute it to. And then when I'm stoned, and I think it's when I'm freshly stoned in particular, but when I'm stoned, then I'm more quote unquote loving to evil people or evil beings and neutral beings. And I use the quote unquote loving because I'm still not very nice. I do the best I can. I have moments of insight and joy where I'm respect some of the evil and neutral beings, and but most of the time, I'm not very, that's not most of the time. Most of the time, I guess I'm only really high, freshly high. Got a fresh high for like the first half an hour, I think. Yeah, so I haven't smoked in 5 days, 6 days, and which is my pattern. Smoke on the weekends, sober up throughout the week, so I'm gonna smoke on the weekends. And yes, I lost my train of thought. Anyways, it's not that important. Let's go back to the content. Hopefully this is end up being psycho-spiritual content. I don't know. As right now it's looking psychological, but it looks psycho-spiritual. So enjoy, folks. Psycho-spiritual content. So I attribute the loving of evil, quote-unquote loving of evil beings and neutral beings as being for love that all that is. So there's another contrast there. So love that for all that is versus when I'm sober, I have lots of self-love. Still love. Love is never a bad thing, but it's like, how much space do you want from people? How alone do you want to be? If you have a lot of self-love and you're banishing and protecting yourself and you're confrontational, then you certainly be safe. But you'll be a little isolated and safe. And if you have love for all that is, well, then you're bound to join it. You'll probably join communities, go in and out of communities fairly frequently, but probably, you find a community, you're there for 3 days, find another community there for 3 days, community of souls, community of people. Anyways, so last thing I want to do for you guys is some reporting on meditation content. So again, some of you know that I'm clairvoyant, some of you know that I'm clairsentient, and some of you know I'm clairaudient. And that's what we're going to do again. I'm going to be doing the clairaudient reporting, clairsentient reporting, which is the feeling touch, the feely, and the clairvoyant reporting. And away we go. The powerful symbol in my hands. Ooh, that's just me. That's not another voice. So I just heard someone speak, but I didn't understand what they're saying. And then a big energy movement on my right hand side and swapped itself through my body, which pisses me off. It was kind of black white. It's probably this guy from Oslo, Romeo, if I'm not mistaken. You speak again. Huru. I get huru. Close. Sorry, I can't understand the being who's trying to speak with me. It's super frustrating to listen and then to want to understand. And I get some things come through, but most of the time it's a garbled mess and I can't really understand the being that's trying to communicate with me. And it's really frustrating. So I'm going to stop trying to communicate with them. Unfortunate that it wasn't a successful connection with that entity who was speaking with me. If you could tell, and the video there, I'm just meditating, and then I'm reacting to what I'm hearing in my mind. Okay, it was one dude, and he has a nice voice. It's, hey, how's it going? he has like that type of voice, and he's familiar to me. Anyways, but it is frustrating when you can't communicate with him, and then I start having paranoid doubts of him. Like, I'm like, well, is that God? Is that God's punishment, or are you trying to piss me off and frustrate me? Which is it? You know, and I do want to know, which is it? Both, he says both. What a dick. He's evil. And maybe he's neutral evil character over there. Sounds like my friend David Wilson, but it's not David Wilson, because I know David Wilson's voice, and that's not the voice he's using. Unless David Wilson's being super sneaky. Okay, understood. He says I'm not David Wilson. And that time he only said David Wilson, and some other voice was said, I'm not. And then he followed with David Wilson. And sometimes that'll happen when you're trying to commune with souls, is you'll get an interpreter, or basically an interpreter. I used to think that demons spoke backwards, but now I'm not so sure. I think it's a different language, and maybe it sounds backwards, but it's not backwards, man. I've heard it so often. It's garbly, but it is not backward speech. It doesn't have a particular morality or ethics or what's the word I'm looking for? We can't get it. It's a D&D term. Anyways, folks, my content's up. Love spending time with you guys. Appreciate it if you comment. Appreciate it if you subscribe. Much love. Peace be with you. Bye for now.